Today's Math 1 313 to 315 quiz review is brought to you by newmber Math, applying color to either identify or sequence within math, always providing students with the opportunity to solve independently and self-assess with an answer key at the end of the video. Now, class, when I was going through this review, what I noticed was there are a lot of inequalities. So let's just familiarize ourselves with them, okay? We will read all of these as x is. Okay, x is greater than 6. The inequality has the mouth open towards the x, representing greater than, okay? X is greater than or equal to 6, okay? The line underneath the inequality of greater than signifies that it may also be equal to. Okay, x is less than 6. Take a look at the mouth of the inequality. It's now open towards the 6. And x is less than or equal to 6. Okay, now that we have that refresher, you can utilize it as you go through this independently. Which inequality will result in you flipping the inequality sign, okay? Now, technically, there would be two ways, okay? But when we solve inequalities, we can always end up with the variable on the left side, so we are not going to write that down. What you need to know is, at the end of your last step, when going through an inequality, when you divide, if you divide by a negative coefficient, you have to flip the inequality at the end, even if it's just negative x, because that negative has an imaginary 1 there, and we need our x to be positive. Okay, so that's all we're looking for, and the coefficient is just the number smushed together with the letter, which is a variable. So let's just go through our answer choices. Answer choice A, 7x is greater than 21. Correct, great job. 7's positive. Smushed together with the x, that's the coefficient, can't be our answer. Let's take a look at answer choice B. Class, amazing job. You guys notice right away that yes, the coefficient is negative. Go ahead and circle your answer. Okay, which value satisfies the inequality? Well, let's read it. X is greater than or equal to 7. Well, what number is equal to 7? Yes, of course, 7. So we're just going to replace it, okay? Now, we know that our number in our answer choice needs to be greater than or the same number. Well, 3 is less than. Get rid of it. Negative 6 is definitely less than. And 7 is certainly equal to 7. Go ahead and circle your answer. Guys, pause the video. Try the first two independently if you'd like. All right, moving forward. Terrell got the answer negative 3 is less than x. Which answer choice is equivalent to his answer? Well, let's take a look. Whoa, do we notice how the variable's on the right side here, but it's on the left in all of our answers? What are we going to do? We are going to rewrite it, okay? So if we read it backwards as x is greater than negative 3, well, x is greater than negative 3. We're just looking for that answer. X is less than negative 3. Do not let that fool you. X equals negative 3. Heck no. X is greater than negative 3. Circle thy answer. Go ahead and pause the video. Try this one independently. All right, solve for y. Move the x variable, divide all by coefficient of y, circle the constant. Again, guys, we have now approached the game of inverse operations for some of these, okay? So solve the equation for y, then determine the constant. We need to get this 18y by itself, and what's hanging out with 18y? Yes, it is negative 6x. Now, keep in mind, for your review, I spaced it out. On your quiz, it's not going to be as spaced, so you may want to just rewrite the whole thing. All right, so let's just do that. 6x minus 6x, get rid of it. Bring down your 18y, bring down your equals. Bring down your negative 6x, and for space, I'm just going to move everything over just a hair. All right, so now we have 18y equals negative 6x plus 90. Well, y is by itself, and it's just telling us we need to divide by all because there's nothing else we can do is in terms of adding or subtracting in the game of inverse operations. So we will just divide everything by 18, which is the coefficient of y. All right, 18 divided by 18 gives you your y by itself. Bring down your equals. Now, negative 6x divided by 18, technically you can leave it as a fraction because, again, your choice of answer is just asking us to determine the constant. Okay, but here's a little trick. All right, if you can take your denominator and divide it clean to get a whole number by your numerator, which we can, 18 divided by negative 6x is negative 3. Wonderful. Okay, that works. So if you know that your denominator now is 3, all right, well, 6 divided by negative 6 is just negative 1. Don't forget your x, okay? 90 divided by 18 is 5, so plus 5. A constant, again, is just a number that stands by itself, and, well, the positive 5 is by itself. Go ahead and just write it as 5 and circle your answer. Go ahead and try this one on the right. I didn't mean to confuse you when reducing our negative 6x over 18 to negative 1/3 x, but that was just a shortcut I learned as a kid, so maybe we pick up on it. Great. If not, we'll walk through the process eventually. All right, so it just says steps. Divide by smushed variable on both sides. Well, I wonder why. Solve the formula for k. Well, j equals hk. Oh, they're smushed together. So you're telling me that hk is equal to h times k? Yes. And if it's a game of inverse operations, just meaning the opposite operation of multiplication is division, and we need to get k by itself, we'll divide by h. Okay, when we do this, we can just, boom, eliminate that. So our answer will be j over h equals k. Now, when you are taking the SAT or a standardized test for that matter, you may not see it written that way. You may see it written as k equals j over h. So just get comfortable with that and just know that moving forward. Try this one on your own. Solve the formula for z. All right, I will not go over the steps. You can pause the video if you do benefit from the steps still. However, you know, we've moved on. We've done equations. Now we're working with inequalities. It follows the exact same pattern. I know it can get a little boring. I don't want it to be a snooze fest, okay? All right, steps. Move constant, divide by coefficient. Well, let's just read it. 8x minus 15 is greater than or equal to 33. Great job, guys. Yes, we do get rid of the negative 15. How do we do it? Wonderful. Plus 15. Guys, why'd you choose negative 15? Exactly. It's on the same side of the river as the 8x. And what we do to one side, my God, you guys are amazing. Bring down your 8x. Cancel that bad boy off. Greater than or equal to 33 plus 15 is 48. We will just divide each side by 8. X is greater than or equal to 6 because 48 divided by 8 is 6. Go ahead and try this one on your own. All right. Now we have negative 7x plus 13 is less than 41. Oh, how do I get this negative 7x by itself? Well, the first step, we're just going to move the constant that's on the same side hanging out with it. Now, this 13 used to be an ultra positive dude. However, suddenly became super negative, and we do not want that on board. All right? Yes, I know, joke was cheesy. However, subtract 13 from each side of the inequality. Bring down your negative 7x, 13 minus 13. Get rid of it, bring down your inequality. 41 minus 13 is 28. We will divide by the coefficient of x, which in this case is negative 7. What we do to one side, again, we do to the other. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 just gives you your x. Some people do this. Feel free if that assists you in guiding you. All right, bring down your inequality. 28 divided by negative 7 is negative 4. However, it says flip the inequality, and why do we do that? Great call. Way to recognize from number one. Yes, we are dividing by a negative coefficient to get that by itself, so we need to flip the inequality. First thing we're going to do is just flip it from less than to greater than, okay? X is already on the left side, so keep it there. Bring down your negative 4. Circle thy answer. Pause the video. Try the one on the right. Moving forward, okay? We need to move the variable, move constant, divide by coefficient. Okay, same exact thing that we saw with the equations, guys. 8x plus 17, okay, is less than or equal to 3x minus 28. Just like Mr. P taught us before in the past, we like to move the variable with less value. So we don't have to divide by a negative. We just divide by a positive. All right, so we will move the variable with less value, minus 3x and minus 3x. 8x minus 3x is 5x. Bring down your plus 17, less than or equal to. 3x minus 3x, get rid of it. Bring down your negative 28. We will then move the constant that's hanging out with 5x, which, yes, good job. Get rid of Mark Grace. All right, never liked the Cubs anyways. Bring down your 5x. 17 minus 17 eliminates the Grace era. Okay, less than or equal to negative 28 minus 17 is negative 45. Still love Jordan. Divide by the coefficient, which is 5. X is less than or equal to the negative 9, which is the negative Jordan Olympic. Okay, go ahead and try the one on the right independently. 10x minus 19 is greater than 17x plus 30. What do we know, guys? What are we going to do? We're going to move the variable with, sure, less value. Perfect. Okay, so let's get rid of the 10x. All right, let's align that nice and neat directly under our 17x. Cross those bad boys out. Bring down your negative 19 greater than 7x plus 30. Okay, now we have to shift the constant. Well, what's hanging out with 7x? Yes. Get rid of the 30. Get rid of the 30. Negative 19 minus 30 is negative 49 is greater than 7x. Okay, we just divide by the coefficient, which is 7. Negative 49 divided by 7 is negative 7 is greater than x. Now, however, you will see on your answer choice in an SAT again, guys, where the variable needs to be on the left side. Okay, so let's just kind of read it backwards since we did it clean. We divided by a positive. We'll just do x is less than negative 7. All right, so I'm just going to flip that inequality, and then I'll bring over the x and bring over the negative 7. And now we have it written the way you will see it on a standardized test. Go ahead, pause the video. Try that one independently. Go ahead and pause it here too. Wasn't too sure if I reminded of the pause or not there. All right, so let's just read it through. Negative 11x plus 8 plus 4x is greater than or equal to negative 14x plus 43. All right, on the left side of the river, or of our inequality, we have a couple of like terms. We have negative 11x and positive 4x. Okay, now in our calculator, you just do negative 11 plus 4, giving us our negative 7. Don't forget the x. Bring down your plus 8, greater than or equal to negative 14x plus 43. I'm going to zoom in because this might take a little more space. We will move the variable with less value. All right, well, I'd rather be $7 in the hole instead of 14, so we'll get rid of that 14. And what we do to one side, again, great job, guys, we do to the other. Negative 7x plus 14x is 7x. Bring down your positive plus 8. Okay, greater than or equal to, crossed off the poly k's, bring down your 43. All right, and we will move the constant. Yes, great job, guys. Just take away the 8. What we do to one side, we do to the other. We're just trying to get that 7x by itself. Make it the lone soldier. All right, 8 minus 8, get rid of it. Greater than or equal to 35. Our last step here is to divide. Divide each by 7. X is greater than or equal to 5. Go ahead and circle your answer, and go ahead and pause the video to try this one on the right independently. All right, so now we have negative 6. Ooh, what do we notice about parentheses? What do parentheses tell us to do? Distribute. Yes, we will. All right, so what's inside the parentheses is 3x plus 8 is greater than 24. So first thing it wants us to do is distribute. We always go with the term in front of the parentheses to the left, and we will multiply that to both terms on the inside. So negative 6 times 3x is negative 18x, and negative 6 times 8 is negative 48. Bring down your greater than, bring down your 24. Okay, now we have to shift the constant that's hanging out with that x. All right, well, what's hanging out? Beautiful, negative 48. You guys are on absolute fire. Are we really starting to see this sequence just like no problem now? Because I'm really believing that we are. And guys, as you can see, all right, positives, negatives, numbers, they may change, but the game remains the same. All right, negative 18x, go ahead and bring that down. Negative 48 plus 48, bring down your greater than. 24 plus 48 is 72. Okay, we need to divide, and we are dividing both sides by a negative 18. Okay, yes, great job. We will flip it at the end. 72 divided by negative 18 is negative 4. And because we divided by that negative coefficient, we need to flip our inequality. Just bring your x down, bring down your negative 4. Go ahead, pause the video, try this one independently on the right. And it says negative 28x plus 7y equals 49. Okay, we saw one of these earlier. Now, technically, do I wish we just saw them repeated in a row? I do. All right, but that's not what it's going to ask you on your quiz. All right, it's asking us to solve for x, all right, or to solve for y. We need to move the x variable, all right? So to get rid of that negative 28x, we need to make it a positive, but we want to drop it in the spot in front of the 49, all right? So let me write that right in there like that. Now, I'm going to just kind of rewrite this whole thing for space, because when you guys take your quiz, I want you guys to really utilize the space given to you, or scrap paper, because I like to write bigger because I can see things more clear. Some of us write real tiny and real smushed and bunched up together, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can barely see it. But then again, I do wear glasses. All right, so now that we've moved that, there's nothing else that we can do to subtract or add. So we're just going to divide all by the coefficient of x, because 7y technically right now is on the left side by itself, and we can't shift over any of these two. So we divide everything by 7. Okay, 7 divided by 7 gives you y. Bring down your equals. 28x divided by 7 is just 4x. 49 divided by 7 is just 7. Go ahead and circle your answer. Go ahead and try this one independently on your own. All right. 5x plus 9y equals 27. So again, we're seeing the same type of thing. Okay, we are solving for y. We want to get 9y by itself. Wonderful job, class. Yes, we will subtract 5x from both sides. I'm just going to do that and do minus 5x and try to squeeze it in there. However, I don't like how it looks. All right, I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm going to bring down our 9y. I'm going to bring down our equals. I'm going to put our negative 5x here and our positive 27 here, so I can visually see that a little bit better. And then again, we just divide everything by the coefficient of y. So we divide everything, all three terms, by 9. 9 divided by 9 gives you your y. Bring down your equals. Negative 5 divided by 9. What? That gives you a decimal? Oh my goodness, guys. Go ahead and just keep it as a fraction. That's supposed to be a 9. I don't like it. At least give me the little loop in there, okay? And then 27 divided by 9 is 3. Go ahead and circle your answer. Try this one off to the right on your own. All right? And solve the literal equation for D. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Multiply both sides by the denominator. We do have a fraction. We need to get that D by itself, okay? And what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So first we're going to start on the right side just to get rid of the fraction. We're going to multiply by 7. It's going to cross those out, all right? Then, sorry about that. We need to multiply 7 here. We know that 7 times c is just 7c. And if we cross this out already, bring down your equals, bring down your DE. However, your D is not alone yet. Dude, yes, I can't believe it. Great recognition. Actually, I can believe it, but great recognition. Okay? Sorry, we just haven't been seeing a lot of smushed variables together. It's usually been that coefficient with the numeric value followed by the variable, so I get a little excited when we recognize these things instantly. Okay? 7c equals DE, and again, we do divide, just like you guys had said, because DE is equal to, yes, D times E, and we're just doing the opposite. We'll divide by E. What you do to one side, you do to both. Cross those out on the right. Bring down your 7c divided by E. There's nothing you can do there. Bring down your equals. Bring down your D. Circle your answer. That's your review. Try the one on the right, and in just about 5 ticks of the clock, I'll scroll through the answer key. And going through your independent practice answer key. All right, let's take a look at the first 2. Should have circled D because of the -9, that negative coefficient. And for this one right here, we should have circled B, 13, because 13 is greater than or equal to 11. All right, our third one here, we just rewrite it, okay, because all of our variables are on the left side. So we're just going to rewrite it backwards, per se. So we'd rewrite it as x is less than -8, x is less than -8. And you should have circled A, x is less than -8. All right, for the next ones, I'm not going to walk you through the process. Are we going to take points off if it's -3x divided by 9? No, because technically it's only looking for the 6 anyways. I just went and reduced for you. You should have x over y is equal to z after dividing both by y. Okay, working through, we have x is greater than or equal to 7. Working through again, should have an answer of x is greater than -3. We did have to flip there, that's why it's in brown. Okay. X is less than or equal to -7. We just leave it in green. We divide it by a positive. All right, again in brown, we did flip it, and x is less than -7. And then again, because we did divide, by a positive, we just had to flip it. My bad on that, but that is the correct answer. Sorry about the explanation. All right, working through, you should have x is greater than or equal to 3. And going through it again, you have x is less than -5. Guys, if you think I made an error at all throughout your answer key one bit, you notify me in class or leave a comment on the video. All right? Please, I'd love the feedback. Positive or, I don't think anyone likes a negative, Nancy, but hopefully we keep it cool. But I appreciate all your efforts always. Y equals 3x plus 6. Y equals -3 over 4x plus 4. And 5x over z is equal to y. That's your answer key for your review. Guys, crush it, dominate it, okay? Let's go.